Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Yeah, Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to on today's episode. Oh, man, we're talking about a lot. We're talking about Mercedes Moné. And is she coming back to the WWE to be Sasha Banks? One of the other horsewomen, Charlotte Flair. Let's talk about her new deal. And also we're talking about, that's right. A bunch of those WWE releases from back in, September?
September.
They're coming due soon. We're going to give them career advice, Larson. We're going to say, where should they go?
Oh, that sounds like a horrible idea. We should be giving anybody career advice.
I think, listen, man, look at the career we've had, Larson. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary of Going in Raw in mere weeks. I mean, it started in September, but still 2024. And then 2025, our 15-year from 10 for the win when the Friendo universe really started. Oh, my God. We should be career gurus, Larson. Come on, man. I think I believe that. I don't know.
Debatable. Anyway, let's talk about this. So it looks like WWE is just doling out money all over the place.
Hey, let's get some of that. Come on. We've been at this for 15 years. Time to cash in.
Pay us some of that money, because on the heels of reports that Rey and Dominic Mysterio signed new contracts with the company, Fightful Select reports that Charlotte Flair also recently signed an extension with the company that's described as a, quote, huge money increase from a previous deal, making it, quote, one of the highest paid deals to a woman in WWE history.
Yeah.
Great for Charlotte. She's one of the best wrestlers the company's got.
Yeah.
And hopefully she's making money comparable to, like, Seth Rollins.
Oh, man, yeah.
You know, that level of compensation.
Yeah.
I certainly hope so. Anyways, with the exact details of all these deals, with Rey, the Dom, the Charlotte one, they're not public because WWE doesn't do that.
Yeah, right.
House of Wrestling reported that Rey signed a 3-year deal with WWE.
Oh, wow, okay.
I know, because I thought he said recently that he was, like, starting to wind things down.
Oh, he did, but then he was like, oh, man, with TKO money, I can, like, load up on, several more gallons of stem cells, or however that works. I don't really, do you put it in a shake? I don't know how it works, Larson.
I don't know how it works either. PW Insider shake, yeah. Thing, you just dump it in and put in your shaker.
Yeah. And then you hear, I'm not going to.
No. PW Insider reports the belief by one source that they spoke to is that Dom's going to be around WWE for 5 more years. Steve, go ahead and celebrate. You love yourself some Dirty Dom.
Dude, talk about a career, a contract year, rather. Dominic Mysterio getting some of the biggest reactions. You and I, to be honest with you, man, this is why WWE should pay us. You and I called this back when he was a boring, bland baby face. You turn this guy heel. I had always said you take him to NXT, you have him grow his hair, which he totally did, and that adds so much to him. This guy is just he's killing it. As a bad guy in Judgment Day. So good for him. Stick around, WWE. Let's talk about Charlotte for a little bit here. Big money deal for her. I wonder, what's kind of interesting is that, so we all know that AEW doesn't feature their women maybe as much as they should.
And not nearly as much as they should.
And so, Charlotte, I'm sure, has plenty of money in the first place. She could sit around and do whatever she wants. If she wants to sit around and play Xbox with Andrade, she could probably do that for the rest of her days because she's probably been paid so much money. But the thing that I like about this is that it's WWE saying, hey, our people are worth big money, even if we don't expect another company to come in with like a big money offer or something like that. We're going to lock them down for a big price to show that this is the place to be if you want that big money. And I've got an alarm going off. Sorry.
Exactly. So before we continue this, let's read this Meltzer quote here. So in a recent Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer spoke. Wrestling Observer Radio. I'm rushing through this. I'm sorry. Meltzer spoke about why WWE is handing out such huge money in these most recent contract extensions. Transcripts come to you from WrestlingNews.co. Quote there, he's talking about WWE. Obviously, very happy because they signed both of them, referring to the Mysterios. Both of them could have waited until free agency, and at that point, they could have probably gotten a giant offer from AEW and a giant offer from WWE, but obviously WWE made it worth their while which is what I was told, and that they are looking at long-time deals with greatly increased compensation for the guys because they don't want free agents right now.
The thing that I like about WrestlingNews.co is that there's no editing of these transcripts. This is Meltzer verbatim, and as we often do, I'd love somebody one day to transcribe a Steven Larson conversation. And then, Steve pulls back his face and screams, "Cody!"
Yeah, it's the stage direction that'll make it really interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
I know this is the first time Meltzer's mentioned about how WB is just throwing money at people to try to get them to stay.
Yeah.
Now, if you're really looking into this, obviously WB I understand the Khan family is enormously wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
WB's got one good-sized TV deal in place. They're looking for a huge one for Raw.
Mm-hmm.
They got the backing of this huge corporation endeavor behind them.
Mm-hmm.
City after city, event after event, is the highest grossing event they've ever had in that city or that arena.
Mm-hmm.
They're flush with money.
Yeah.
Now, if they're throwing huge paychecks at these wrestlers to try to either get them to stay or have them come to the company, you got that. You got them pursuing a TV deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, who might be merging with Paramount if reports are
Paramount. Yeah. Might get some Star Trek integration there in AEW.
That'd make Cody and Steve very happy.
Oh, absolutely.
And if WWE pursues a TV deal and actually gets a TV deal with Warner Brothers Discovery,
yeah.
Let's say that AEW, no, they're going to be around.
Yeah.
But it seems that WWE potentially is being much more aggressive about going after their competition than they were in the last couple of years.
I don't think it's a terrible move to see the landscape and to see what your competition is doing and how they have, the honeymoon period is over with AEW. Still have a lot of fans and they're still very successful at what they do, but WWE establishing themselves as, from merely a financial standpoint, from a corporate standpoint, and even in the eyes of fans, although I don't know if this kind of shit really matters beyond a certain small segment of fans, establishing themselves as, hey, we're the cock of the walk. We are synonymous with pro wrestling, and AEW ain't no different than Evolve or Progress or any of those other smaller companies. They might have. Well, that's the attitude that WWE seemingly said.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Spend them out of the water.
You remember so there's Crayola crayons. It's brand name crayons.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the brand below that was? It used to be a brand
like Ralph's brand.
No, it was an actual brand. It wasn't store brand.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what it was. I can see the package in my mind.
Dollar.
I don't know what the name on it was.
Dollar crayons. I don't know. Because crayons is okay. It's Crayola. That's the
Crayola
thing,
is the brand. That's the thing. You can call something crayons, but there's only one Crayola. Yeah. Sort of like anybody can make a copy machine.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Only one Xerox.
Only one Xerox, baby.
Anybody can make facial tissues. There's only one Kleenex.
Yeah, right. Oh my.
Although goodness. I guess Puffs has kind of gotten part of their market share too.
Puffs a big deal. Interesting.
What do you use, Puffs or Kleenex?
I don't know. Costco brand, bro.
I wonder who they.
I'm sorry, Winco brand, not Costco. Winco brand. Because Costco has a brand. It's called Kirkland. That's Costco brand. Got
usually Kirkland. They these other products that are on the market. They just rebrand them as Kirkland.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But no, I got Winco. I don't know. Tissue paper. I don't really like toilet. I just use toilet paper, which is we actually use Charmin or whatever the good stuff. is.
You don't want to use the cheap stuff when it comes to toilet paper.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can't like no offense, Winco. I'm like your number one guy. I ain't using your toilet paper. People learn that one the hard way. I learned that a long time ago. Anyways, let's get back to wrestling, man. WWE establishing themselves basically as the cock of the walk, as the place to be. We're going to treat you guys well. We're going to treat you like stars. We're going to, give you all the money, ridiculous money, so that you won't even consider going to the other place. Yeah, the Khan's got a lot of money, but even Tony Khan is going to stick within a certain budget because I think that his goal is probably to be profitable, I would assume. And so, yeah, that's awesome, man. The people that benefit are the wrestlers,
Absolutely, and that's the most important thing.
And here's the thing. Not only does WWE driving up the price for their own wrestlers that means AEW is going to have to pony up a little bit more for their wrestlers as well when their contracts come up. So,
Indeed.
Again, another way to stick it to the competition.
I know it is. But in the end, here's the thing. Wrestlers making more money is great.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's fantastic. We want wrestlers to make a living wrestling and a healthy living at that. They're putting their body on the line every day. Every time they step in that ring.
Yeah, right.
At the same time, I understand WB is being very aggressive going after AEW right now. Wrestling business is better with AEW in it.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying that. Look, and here's the thing. You say they're going, we say they're going aggressive. Maybe they smell blood in the water. It's not like they're counter-programming on Wednesdays. You know, they got, hey, that WWE speed, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, imagine you get a 2-hour show in like a half hour.
I know. That was kind of great, right? I know, exactly. But, they're not counter-programming. We saw what happened last time they did that, but they're not counter-programming. It's not like they're like, oh, NXT's doing well. Let's move NXT back over to Wednesdays. They're not doing that.
No, they're just going to do that. But if they're, hey, what about Wednesday Night Raw? How's that sound?
If they do that, that's not going to be on them. That's going to be on the whoever gets the rights to Raw.
It will be, but WWE won't be like, no, we want to keep it.
No, of course not, because they'll be getting so much money. But they would do that if they got enough money for it. Sure, absolutely. But yeah, it's not like they're coming. They're scheming with other companies to directly counter program. You would honestly, dude. If I'm WWE, I look at AEW in kind of a similar vein to some of the territories that Vince was bankrolling. I'm not saying they should start bankrolling AEW, but ECW is getting checks from Vince McMahon to develop wrestlers so that eventually they'll go to WWE. I mean, that's the end game, and Vince knew that was an important aspect. NXT can't be your only developmental place. You have people coming up in AEW, and yes, you might have to reprogram their in-ring, but you have people coming up in AEW. The people that are able to push through to the top at AEW, WWE wants to be targeting them because they built their brand. They're going to bring them over. They makes WWE look good for bringing them over. WWE should want AEW to exist. They absolutely should. So, anyways, but
absolutely.
I don't know, if you're a company and you got a competitor, you probably want to take them out of business, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, we have a company. We have a podcast.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put anybody out of business.
Oh, are you kidding me? Get out of here with that. I do. Every day. Every day I'm looking at our competition.
You just sit there and write a list. All right, who are we putting out of business today?
No, not at all. This is the thing about you and I, man. Nobody does what you and I do. I don't really know what it does, but nobody does what we do.
Yeah, I suppose not.
Yeah. It's our chemistry together. Come on, man.
Yes, unparalleled. Can't be duplicated. Let's talk about this. So we haven't seen Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
Since she appeared in the audience at AEW's All In London.
True.
That was back in end of August.
Yeah, man, that was a while ago.
She's been recuperating, rehabilitating I think it was a broken ankle.
She did do like that video that, hey, she's back in the ring.
Training. That's right. Yeah.
Training and stuff.
We haven't seen her on wrestling TV, though, since All In.
Yeah.
Fightful Select reports that while there were tentative plans in place for Moné and AEW to work together, those plans, ceased to be the case beginning in December. And Fightful added that Moné and AEW were, quote, far apart on the terms of any sort of deal. Mm-hmm. Fightful also added that Moné isn't currently under contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then today, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful tweeted, quote, revealed on today's episode of The Hump that word within the industry was that Mercedes Moné's asking price was above what we heard Charlotte got in her new WWE deal.
She worth it? Should they do it? Should they give her more money than Charlotte?
Yes. I think if you're WWE and you could bring her back, absolutely.
Does Charlotte have a favored nations clause?
I don't think WWE does that, man.
That'd be awesome. Isn't it shocking that WCW did that?
It is, but it's also, considering that, not shocking they went out of business.
Yeah, look, man, if Mercedes Moné can get that price to rawgate herself back into Sasha Banks, then awesome for her. That's good. Whether or not, here's the thing right now with WWE, similar to CM Punk. They don't need anybody. but it sure does add tons of buzz, tons of, again, it's, she went out to the rest of them, and now she might be heading back to WWE, and that looks good from a business perspective. If they want to do that, there's a lot of upside to that.
WWE would be the place to be.
It'd be, we need a new name. The place to WWE be.
The place to WWE.
There you go. So stupid.
No,
nobody can get this from anywhere else, Larson.
No, nobody. If WWE could bring Mercedes back, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Ain't my business what the price is. Just do it.
Oh, yes, bring her back.
If you're Charlotte, then you get on the phone and be like, clack, 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 clack. I want more money now, too. 4 horsewomen favored nations. That's what they should ask for.
Maybe it's like they signed it. They all have a thing in there. It's like, all right, we all make the same amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Exactly.
But it's like top 10% in the company.
It's like the cast of Friends, man.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Second NBC sitcom reference of the show so far.
My God, look at we're on a roll, dude. What's up next? Manimal?
Manimal's going way back. Not a sitcom though.
Well, depending on your definition, there was no laugh track, but you can't say it's not comedy.
Its run was comically short on television.
It was. So yeah, man, I think you bring her back, you load up, just unbelievable talent. So much there. Triple H, he'd have a ball doing, let's get that horsewomen fatal 4-way, man.
Oh,
let's
I know.
do that. Let's
Main
do
event
that.
at WrestleMania. Let's do
Absolutely. That'd be killer.
Heck yeah.
I think you do it, man. I think you do it. Anyways, let's go ahead and pay some bills before we talk about those WWE non-competes. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right, man. This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp. Larson,
what's that, Steve?
The holiday season is all about giving. And regardless if you get gifts or not from your loved ones, you get to define how you give to yourself. So whether you treat yourself to a day of rest to recharge, go easy on yourself during tough moments, or decide to start therapy, remember to give yourself some love this holiday season.
Yeah, back in my mid-20s, I found myself in a tough spot after I started dealing with severe anxiety, and it got bad enough that I was faced with a pretty huge decision. Was I going to allow my anxiety to get in the way of my happiness, or was I going to go to therapy so I could start learning the tools that I needed to better cope with my anxiety? And it took me a couple of tries, but I eventually found a therapist I felt comfortable talking to, and therapy got me back on track to live in a happier, more productive life.
So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. All you got to do to get started is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and then you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
In the season of giving, give yourself what you need with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/raw.
Speaking of getting gifts, man, I got to figure out when to head over to your house and give you yours. I got actually one of them should be coming in today or tomorrow, but then I got another one already here.
Yeah,
I think you'll quite like your gifts.
I think you'll like yours too.
Oh, nice. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can roll over there tomorrow and we can open them on stream or on. Are we doing a show on Friday?
Yeah, I suppose we should Friday morning, yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a new show, right, on Friday?
Yeah, we got to do one. Yeah, we got one more to do.
But because the thing we did today, that's for next week.
Yeah, it is.
All right, cool. Yes. Right on. So yeah, speaking of which, programming note next week. Of course, it's the holiday week. It's it's the taint between Christmas and New Year's. You got the Christmas genitalia and the New Year's butthole, and so you got the taint in between. Yeah. Why? What is my problem? Why am I referring to it that way, Larson?
Well, New Year's is the holiday with so much promise, but usually it's like, all right, that happened.
Like a butthole? I don't know. So anyway,
well, I mean, like the butthole, things come out of the butthole, and then New Year's Eve is like you're coming out of one year and going into the next. I guess I don't know.
Man, I appreciate the fact that you didn't look at me like I was some weirdo. When I dropped that instead, you hopped on this train with me and took it all the way to butthole land.
If you're feeling awkward, I don't want you to sit there and feel awkward by yourself. I'll feel awkward with you.
Oh, I appreciate that. So yes, again, this is you only get this stuff from Going in Raw. Larson, we got no competition. We got no competition. So yeah, because of that, we pre-recorded a bunch of shit that we're gonna run coming up in the taint of the year, and so we're not gonna be live doing any of that stuff except for the 30th for World's End. We're gonna be live doing that. We still have content going up over at Friendo Club Wrestling as well, so be sure to check that out. The Friendo Awards are coming up, so be sure to stay tuned to get the link so that you can vote in the Friendo Awards.
Indeed.
And then, of course, we're still on that road to 199,991 subs. We already passed the 198,891 palindrome, and we're trying to get to that next palindrome, which is 199,991.
Indeed.
And that'll be very exciting if we do that. And then, of course, after that, boom, 9 more, 10 more. Wait, no, what am I looking at? 12 more?
11 more.
11 more. Yeah, 11 more.
11 more.
Yeah.
It's 200,002. That's the palindrome number I'm really excited
That's
about.
huge. I don't care about 200,000. I care about 200,002.
Exactly.
So hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Also, we've got bonus episodes, question threads, and of course, access to the Big Blue Predictions challenges. And you can get that by getting the Friendo Club set up. That's right. Right now, you can click that join button on YouTube or head to patreon.com/Steven Larson for $5 a month there. Or by clicking join on YouTube, you can get yourself the Friendo Club set up, bonus episodes, question threads, and of course, access to the Big Blue Predictions challenges we do every single month. We got one coming up with World's End and WWE's Day 1 episode of Raw. I think it's going to be a whole big thing. We usually do multiple shows per challenge. It's the Week of Champions 4, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Man, good stuff. So,
I got something else. The Tain analogy for Christmas and New Year's. You know why it's also apropos?
Why?
It's because in a lot of respects, 2023 was quite a turd.
Yeah, it was a big turd. turd.
So we need to get
poop
that out.
Poop that one out of here.
So we're cleaned out going into 2024.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Exactly. Get all that negative mojo out of there.
Yeah.
Fresh, clean slate coming up here in 2024. Exactly. So, anyways, let's talk about this. A lot of wrestlers were released back in September of this year.
September 20th. Yeah.
September 20th, which means those 90-day no-compete clauses are coming up as of like tomorrow or tonight at midnight.
I think 12:01 tonight. Yes.
Oh, wow. So we're talking about Riddick Moss, Matt Riddle, Dolph Ziggler, Shelton Benjamin.
Correct.
Hold on. I'm still going to go. No, I'm not looking at anything right now. Did I already mention Dolph Ziggler?
Yes.
Mustafa Ali.
There you go.
Hold on. Don't tell me. Now I ran out of them. I don't know what else.
Dana Brooke.
Oh, Dana Brooke. That's right.
Dana Brooke. Who else?
Dude, my number one guy, Rick Boogs.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's always an absolute bummer when people lose their jobs. However, as we've seen in many instances, it can lead to opportunity for many wrestlers. Let's start with Dolph Ziggler. Where would you like to see Dolph Ziggler go?
I want him to take the Matt Cardona route, honestly.
I think that'd be awesome. He could even team with Matt
that'd be
Cardona.
really cool. Oh, yeah. Top Dollar. It was interesting hearing about Top Dollar, what he said about, when he's going for that dive and it didn't go how he had hoped. And through the process of that, he found out he had type 2 diabetes.
And then he lost all that weight. Yeah. It saved his life, that botch, apparently.
Yeah.
No, he's a hell of a story, man. I wasn't always like the biggest fan necessarily of how he was presented on screen, but, a hell of a story with that guy. And I hope whatever he ends up doing, if it's in wrestling or whatever, he ends up being successful at it. Seems like a decent guy.
Yeah, same. Agreed. So Dolph, Dolph. I hope he tries to do something like Matt Cardona, where he goes out on the independent ranks and tries to use his character in WWE as a way to invent himself. I'm not saying he has to be a carbon copy of what Cardona did, because I don't know if anybody else can do exactly what Cardona did.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I think for someone who's so synonymous, who was in WWE for 15 years, whatever it was, for him to take the audience's expectations of who now Nick Nemeth is, and it kind of turned them on their head, I think it'd be really interesting, because that's essentially what Cardona's been doing the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, look, if Ziggler ends up going to AEW and becomes a carbon copy of what he was in WWE, so be it. You know, maybe he'll make a lot of money there. But I love that idea of sort of taking the Cardona route with his own spin on it. I think that'd be really awesome. And honestly, I also would love to see Dolph. If there's anybody amongst that group, Dolph would be like the number one guy I would want to see start a Maven-esque YouTube channel.
Yeah.
He has been there for a long time. Probably has a lot of stories. And by the way, little word of advice. Nobody's going to take advice from this guy, but little word of advice. Don't go negative. You know, I know like with Maven's YouTube channel, it's just really interesting stories that he's telling. Informative and comical and entertaining. It's infotainment is what they call it. And I know Dolph Ziggler could do that, but so many more levels to his story, because he was there for such a long time, world champion, but also, you know, saw the lows of the WWE as well. Yeah. So yeah, that's good stuff. Mustafa Ali, where do you want to see that guy end up?
I mean, he put a tweet out that said 12/21/23.
One of these dudes is going to be one of them Impact signings.
Yeah, you'd think so. And Ali might be that person, because it was 12/21/23. I want to say at 12:21 p.m. Maybe it's a.m. I don't remember exactly whether it's a.m. or p.m. But that time, I mean, Impact has their programming on Thursday nights. I know this is probably filmed 3 months ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
whatever's airing tonight. But it's not to say they can't have a video package prepped and ready to insert with the rest of the show or something.
Yeah.
I would love for all. I want a huge stage for Mustafa Ali to showcase what he can do. That's selfishly what I want.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a huge fan of the guy. I think he's fantastic. He's a fantastic wrestler. He seems to be a super creative person.
Yeah, right.
And he seems to be a really good dude.
Yeah.
And I want just the absolute most success possible for Mustafa Ali. So wherever he can find that's where I'd like him to go.
So selfishly speaking, I'd love to see him in New Japan, because I think you take that creativity and just how awesome their production is. I think that would be a really cool meld. Thing is, he's got like a whole family. He's got like a wife and kids. That's a big commitment to be going all the way to Japan for as long as they have to go. Impact, you know, you're there once every quarter. You work one day every 3 months. You get paid a bunch of money. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like if these are all going to be me speaking selfishly. I don't, you know, if they want to do whatever they want to do, then I think that's great. Yeah. But I think he's got that untapped cool potential, and I think that could work really well as the new Bullet Club leader, because they need new leadership over there. I don't know if Finley's going to cut it, Larson.
Yeah. Steve, your guy, Rick Boogs, where does he go?
Oh man, hopefully going in Raw, man. Hopefully he shows up here. He's on our show. And you know, we get the lowdown on all the stories. You know, he could be running down my guy Triple H.
Could be.
He'd be like, I'd be a fan. I'd be like, Boogs, I'm a Triple H guy. He's like, well, I'm definitely not, because he was not a Rick Boogs guy. Let me tell you what. Yeah, I don't know, Boogs. You know, I'd like to see if the guy, DDT, do some comedy shit. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Seemed to be up his alley.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. What do you want to see? Where do you want to see Boogs?
I feel like he's going to go to Impact's like.
Probably, it's like right up his alley, isn't it? Him hanging out with Swinger, you know, and Zicky Dice.
Yeah. What about Aaliyah?
Oh, yeah. They got a killer women's division over there in Impact. I'd say Impact is a good place to go.
Shelton Benjamin.
Oh, dude, New Japan. Go back to New Japan. That might get me to start watching again.
Yeah. Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooke.
Impact.
Yeah, again, Impact, sure.
Daba Kato.
Oh, he got released too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. AEW. They need big dudes. They need them big dudes.
Yeah.
Somebody to face off with against Satnam Singh.
There we go. What about Elias?
Oh, wow.
Impact.
We got to start calling it TNA, man.
I know. It's going to take some getting used to. Let's go through everybody here. Oh, Mace and Mansoor. I think they were advertised for GCW, I think
they did. Well, I know they did like a Deadlock appearance.
Yeah.
Or something like that. They're going to be a Deadlock. Yeah, I think they actually had like an appearance there.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Deadlock. They need to take that next step up and start signing exclusives to some of those big names, man.
They already got grizzled young veterans there. Not
They got grizzled young veterans.
Riddick Moss.
Him and Emma, or what's her?
Emma, yeah.
Yeah, Emma.
Tennille
Dashwood.
Yeah.
They've got like a YouTube series where they're traveling the world.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
There's like wrestling aspects to it, so I don't know. Indie nomads.
If you can make a really good living doing travel vlogs and not have to take bumps.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The little trailer I saw there's looked beautiful too. You know, I don't know if they have chemistry or not, but if they have chemistry, then yeah, man, do it.
All right, what about Matt Riddle?
Oh, AEW.
Probably.
He could be an upper mid-card guy in AEW.
I think I just saw something where he's advertised for an MLW show.
Okay. I think MLW might have a relationship with the Crash, and maybe that's because I think he was advertised for a Crash show.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
What about Top Dollar?
Hey, MLW. How about that? MLW.
All right.
I don't know much about them. I know Real One's there.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu is there. He's still there.
Alexander Hammerstone.
Hammerstone is there. Yeah.
I think Richard Holiday made it back to MLW too.
He's back in MLW?
Yeah, I thought I saw that too.
Oh wow. Okay. I thought some people were saying he could have been the devil, but then it would have been like a Christopher Daniels higher power situation where it's like, who's this guy? And then Excalibur explains it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, no. Yep.
What was the name of their faction? They had a faction in MLW.
Oh, it was him and MJF. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And Hammerstone too, wasn't it?
I think.
Man,
maybe?
that's a pretty loaded faction.
It wasn't Fortune, but it was something like that.
Yeah, that's
like the Foundation. Right. No, not the Foundation. I forget what it was.
Here, I'll look into it.
Man, it's on the tip of my friggin' tongue, dude. Anyways, let me load up some of these. While you do that, I'm going to load up some questions here. First up, from the Friendo, known as...
Is this what it is? Oh, here it is.
Oh, yeah.
The Dynasty.
The Dynasty. There you go. The dinosaurs. Oh, it's the Dynasty. The dinosaur, pal.
Dinosaur, pal.
Carlos Diaz says, you've always talked about how comfortable Kevin Owens' attire is.
Amazing.
What's the most uncomfortable looking wrestling attire you've ever seen in the last 10 years?
When Karrion Kross had to wear those goddamn suspenders and the bucket on his head.
Yeah, that looked horrible.
Awful.
Remember Sammy Guevara's cape that looked like it was chafing his nipples?
Yeah.
There was that. And
but
then
he didn't have to wear that to wrestle then.
You're right. My number one is Roman Reigns in that goddamn bulletproof vest.
Oh yeah, the vest.
The vest combined with I know they were wrestling boots, but they look like army boots. And and like his pants.
Tactical pants, his cargo pants. Yeah.
Cargo pants. That looked horribly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
He looks super comfy now. He has the beef out.
Oh, he's way comfortable now. I wish he'd wear some Zubaz pants.
Some comfy pants.
Yeah, some comfy shorts, some ripped off sweat shorts. That'd be cool.
You want chill Roman is what you want, the Zubaz pants.
I just want chill Roman, yeah, exactly.
Chris Stanton here asks, which title do you think currently has more prestige?
Mm-hmm.
That would be World Heavyweight Championship, the one that Seth Rollins has, or the AEW World Championship.
Oh, man. One of those titles is going to be defended at WrestleMania.
Maybe not in the main event, though, Steve.
Yeah, maybe not in the main event. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'll say this. To a degree, lineage brings prestige to a title.
Mm-hmm.
AEW's world title does have a lineage of 5 or 6 guys.
Yeah, it's a pretty quality lineage, yeah.
And it's quality stuff.
I mean, World Heavyweight Champion, depending on where you started, could have a lineage of 1.
Well, that's the thing. It does. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not, because I don't think they're actually using the lineage of the old big gold belt to add to this one.
Either. I don't think so either.
If they did, then it's this one. But I don't think they're doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you personally define prestige? Is it what people want or its place in history?
I think it's a combination of both, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I mean, something must seem prestigious if it's valued by people, if there's a legacy associated with it, and if Seth is in fact the first world heavyweight champion of this lineage. No disrespect to Seth, he's really good. The lineage of legacy is not there yet.
Yeah, right.
They're just getting around to booking that title as if, oh, this is something that people really want.
They're doing a good job with that now.
With Drew, I think the Drew storyline is really picking that up. Whereas from the beginning, that's kind of been the deal with AEW. It's like, by and large, it main events every pay-per-view.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know. I give maybe the slight edge to the AEW World Title now, but
that would have been a great. What would you rather be, huh? The AEW World Title or any question that has to do with being a title.
Any question that you have to be like an inanimate object. That's my favorite. That's my absolute favorite.
Yeah, right.
Andre Zimpel here says, would you rather be a founding member of the NWO or a founding member of DX?
I'd rather be, man. Again, how is this being determined? Like, is it Steve? Steve is founding member of NWO.
Imagine instead of Hall, Nash, and Hogan, it's Hall, Nash, Hogan, and Steve. Or instead of Sean, Hunter, China, Sean, Hunter, China, Steve.
It'd be NWO.
Yeah.
It'd be me, Hogan, Hall, and Nash. That'd be rad. That'd be rad just to see the interaction between Nash and Hogan. Because Hogan, was like hella cheesy, and Nash was like, we're supposed to be cool guys.
I know.
And Hogan's like this big leathery dad type, saying, what you gonna do? Let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah.
So yeah, NWO.
Same.
Historically, they're more significant also.
Yeah, they are. They are absolutely. And to be associated with that history would be pretty neat.
John, in Alistair voice, says, what's your guys' hot take when it comes to snacks? Personally, I got a lot of flame for saying that Doritos are overrated. That's what he says.
I'm not huge on Doritos.
I'm not huge on Doritos, but I'll eat them if they're around.
Yeah, I'll eat them. I'm not huge. Not my favorite. So let me
I
ask
won't
you
buy
this.
them.
So you're feeling a bit peckish. You're looking to nosh.
Yeah, right.
What is your go-to? Do you gravitate towards the sweets or the crunchy or the salty? What do you gravitate towards?
So sugar is awful, and as much as I would like if somebody had like a box of Hostess products in front of me or like a bag of Fritos, I would want the Hostess, but I don't do that anymore because number one, it makes me break out like I'm 14 years old.
Yeah.
And number two, I just understand it's awful for you, especially the older you get. So I'm definitely like a chips guy. I'm like a Fritos guy. Yeah.
Same. Yeah. I mean, if I'm craving something like kind of sweet, I'll just have a bowl of cereal or something like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got like some Chex, like rice Chex, like low
like
sugar rice Chex.
Yeah,
even mini wheats are like 30% of your daily sugar intake.
I know, but they're really good. They got fibered stuff in it, so that's good for you.
Yeah.
And I always mix my like sweeter cereals with some Cheerios, which has like no sugar in it, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
like a third of a serving. But yeah, otherwise, just give me chips or crackers or something crunchy.
As far as a hot take for snacks, I guess here's a hot take for you: 90% of chips are not good. Like I honestly don't even like regular Lay's. I don't like Ruffles. I don't like. They're so salty. It's just too much. I don't like those. Pringles are good. But I kind of feel like, to a degree, chips are a bit on the overrated side, except for a very small number of chips, which are amazing.
So I'll say this:
Frito Scoops are my shit, man. That's amazing.
I'll say for the most part, like the brand name mass produced chips, like the Lay's, like the Ruffles. I could go without.
Right? Yeah.
Give me the kettle chips.
Yeah, right. Yeah, those
it's
are
the textural thing for me because the mass produced. I know kettle chips are mass produced. You know what I mean? The Lay's, the Frito Lay brand. Though I love Fritos.
Yeah.
Potato chips though feel like you're mostly eating air and salt.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like the chips are so light that you puff on them and they'll break apart.
God damn, you're like Superman with your breath, huh?
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, "Oh my God."
I'm probably gonna pop the mic here doing that.
No, you're good.
Blake Whitehouse asks, why do you think there's the stigma that LA Knight is too old to be world champion, but he's still younger than guys like Finn Balor and Damian Priest? What all three of them have in common? They've never been world champion.
Well, Finn Balor has been.
Oh, that's right, Universal champion. That was a long time ago. That's probably when he was younger than what LA Knight is now.
Yeah, I think it definitely was. Yeah, that was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh, it was 2016. So
it was 2016. Yeah,
7 years ago.
Or was it 2015?
So short-lived.
No, it was 2016. 2016. Yeah.
2016.
So here's part of it, and I know you'll totally agree with me on this one.
Well, we'll see about that.
He acts older. His presentation is older. He looks like a dude from the 80s.
You know what I think it really is? Is that LA Knight is as old as what he is. And maybe because of his age, it feels like he should have accomplished more in the wrestling business. I know he's an Impact champ. He's a NWA champ.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
But look, I mean, Damian Priest is no different than that in terms of accomplishments.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. And who's to say that Damian Priest won't cash in at some point, but at the rate he's going now, it doesn't seem promising.
Oh, I thought this was a compare and contrast LA Knight versus other guys that are old.
No. I mean, I think to a degree, this is what kind of stands out about him. But Damian Priest is kind of the same case where he's LA Knight's age, wrestled the Ring of Honor for years and didn't do, in terms of accomplishments, didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, he was like TV champion once.
Yeah,
read the question one more time.
Why do you think there's a stigma that LA Knight is too old to be world champion when he's still younger than guys like Finn Balor and Damian Priest?
And I think the question sort of is like separating them. Like, why is it people are cool?
No, yeah, totally.
Yeah, right. And
part of
I think part of it might be what you're talking about. But I also think like Damian Priest still looks really cool. If somebody told me Damian Priest was 36, I'd believe him.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's 40, 42, whatever.
He doesn't look it at all. Finn Balor hasn't really aged all that much. He still looks really. If somebody told me Finn Balor's 36, I'd be like, yeah, I'd buy that.
Yeah, totally.
LA Knight looks like he could be 46.
Yeah.
Based off of, like, he sort of has an 80s style to him.
Yeah, he does.
And I mean, a lot of what he does comes off as like an 80s type character, which would mean he's like old. Mm-hmm. And like he has like endless dad jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know. He sort of has dad vibe to him, whereas the other guys, they've got cool vibe to him. They're like cool 40. There's like it's a weird thing to me, but I kind of feel like that's part of it.
That's part of it. Yeah, that's got to be part of it. Ty Moore here says, Steve, name one AEW wrestler that should have less fun. Larson, name one AEW wrestler who should have more fun.
Oh, wow. Okay. So an AEW wrestler who should have less fun.
Who's having too much fun in your estimation in AEW?
So, dude, I'll be honest with you. I know he's more of a Ring of Honor guy, but he's on AEW plenty. And I'm talking about Dalton Castle. I'm all about fun, but when you start having your boys snort things out of your hand, that's a problem. Somebody's going to get hurt there. So I'm going to say Dalton Castle needs to dial it down. No more of the snorting narcotics right in front of the camera. Don't do that with the boys. And let's all keep it clean.
I feel like the person I'm about to name, what they do is their definition of fun. Mm-hmm. But from my vantage point, it's not. Darby Allin needs to have more fun.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You hardly see him smile.
Even when he's skateboarding, he looks miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing throwing his body all over the place and somehow avoiding catastrophic injury is fun for him.
Yeah, right.
Would be, and this isn't judgment on my part, but it doesn't satisfy my definition of fun.
We need to see more Darby Allin, like in that reality show that he did.
Yes,
where he was talking about having the sex with somebody and some bushes and some bees attacked.
Bees stung him. Yeah,
he looked really like he was having a lot of fun there.
Yeah, I think he actually smiled during that.
Oh yeah, he was chuckling during the entire thing. Real TJP says, "Do you think WWE would do some sort of type of ECW thing involving CM Punk and others?" And other former wrestlers at this upcoming WrestleMania. You think they're going to do an ode to ECW in Philadelphia?
I'd be pretty surprised if at least not one ECW original or even Paul Heyman is inducted into the Hall of Fame in Philly.
I think you're right about that.
Outside of that, I don't know. Triple H's deal is predominantly looking forward.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, he doesn't really seem to be a rearview mirror type guy, you know?
I think the Hall of Fame is exactly the right place to do that.
It's the right platform for that,
Yeah.
Sebastian Garcia in kayfabe, why would a promotion allow their world champion's contract to run out? Shouldn't they strip them of the belt? Sorry. Well, there's always 11th hour agreements on deals, you know?
In kayfabe, why would a promotion let a wrestler's contract expire?
For example, when CM Punk won at Money in the Bank 2011, when his contract was expiring. And I know Vince McMahon tried to keep him from winning.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when he did leave, they crowned an interim champion.
They did,
So-
yeah. I guess, you know, I guess contractually that match was his to have, and legally they couldn't do anything to stop that match from happening is the point.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah. Because contracts exist in kayfabe. For
We see
matches.
it signed all the time.
Yeah, we see contract signings all the time. Jesse Halsey says, you guys going to see the Iron Claw and are you going to do a review for it?
I do want to see it.
Same.
Review, don't know. We haven't talked about it.
Us being on the same page with like, have you seen it yet? And then like
Yeah.
one of us, I don't know who, but one of us, or maybe even both of us will be like, man, I really want to see it. I can't find time. And then it's going to be gone from theaters. And then, you know, we'll hope to catch it on Amazon Prime.
And I haven't gone to the movie theater in a long time.
Yeah, right.
I did watch all my movies on my TV.
Yeah.
So when it shows up on Max or whatever it was, the A24 signed a deal with Max to bring movies there.
I think so,
Whatever it
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Whenever it shows up on Max, that's probably when I'll finally get around to seeing it. I haven't even seen Oppenheimer yet.
Oh, you had your chance on Twitter. Just sit there watching it on Twitter.
Sitting there like this.
Yeah, you don't even turn it to the side. You don't even full screen it.
Nope.
Let's see here. All right, we'll end on this one. Brian Castle says, who will be the biggest surprise Rumble entry, man and woman? I'm going to say Mickey James shows up in the Rumble.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Men, how about this? Wouldn't it be great if Aldis and Adam Pearce both were in the Rumble?
That'd be fun.
That'd be awesome.
That would be fun.
Scrap Daddy.
Yeah, I don't know if there should be a whole lot of surprises in the Rumble.
I don't think there will be. I think
Okada will be in the Rumble. How about that?
I'd love that, man. Okada versus Gunther for the IC title.
Heck yeah.
That'd be amazing. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you around.
Goodbye.
Help support Friendo Club by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Access to bonus episodes, question threads for the Going In Raw podcast, and entry to our monthly wrestling predictions challenges. Join the Friendo Club today.